Greetings, Leo and Leo rising. This is your Western forecast for July 2025. I always start with, where is the sun shining? Where is it lighting up what area of your life? Well, every year, the last week of June, the sun goes into Cancer through July the 22nd. That is the sign. Cancer is the sign prior to Leo. So it's the shadowy side, the incubation side, the spiritual side. It's the 12th house sector, but with the sun in Cancer for Leos. But come July the 22nd, the sun goes into Leo. So the first 3 weeks with the sun in the 12th house, it's more of a holding pattern, a waiting pattern. Maybe you're doing a lot of research, studying. But then, come the last week of July into August, it is your birthday, or the sun is crossing over your Leo rising. And that begins a whole new cycle for the next year. And coming out of the shadows of the sun in the 12th house into the light, into the first house. Maybe you've been very busy, maybe you're doing a lot of studying, maybe you're overworked, and now you can, let it all go and start launching new beginnings, new visibilities. Now, this sun in Cancer, however, is very important in that I mentioned last month, Jupiter, expansive knowledge-seeking, traveling planet, the Jupiter, planet of optimism and opportunity, went into Cancer in June. And it's there for 1 year till the end of June 2025. Jupiter goes through all the 12 signs every 12 years. But when Jupiter transits Cancer, it's in its exalted sign. So it wants to be able to give its best blessings, its best possibilities and potentials. But the Jupiter is in Cancer, that the sun is lighting up, putting a real spotlight on the best of Jupiter in the 12th house. And that could be dealing with a lot of spiritual retreats, wellness retreats, doing a lot of inner healing, also a lot of letting go of what no longer serves you. This could bring in that Jupiter in the 12th. Jupiter seeks knowledge, and this could be very favorable for getting away from the external social world, because you got to pull within and do a lot of studying or a lot of researching. But it's also certainly Jupiter in the 12th house can be a very spiritual time. Now, Uranus is going into Gemini July the 6th, and it will be there to the 2033. Uranus goes through all the signs every 84 years. Uranus is going into Gemini July the 6th. Gemini is 11 signs past Leo. First of all, Uranus represents this liberating, progressive, freedom-loving, genius energies, thinking out of the box, being really advancing at the future. It's now going to enter into Gemini. Gemini is the sign of information, communications, ideas. Uranus in Gemini could be an explosion of new ideas, new communications. Now, in the 11th is your hopes, your dreams. It's the groups and organizations. It's friendships. Those are the domains of the 11th house. So with Uranus, once in a lifetime, entering into your 11th for the next 8 years, your social life could get into a radical shakeup. You might get very involved with technological or humanitarian groups, because Uranus is technology. Uranus could also rules Aquarius, which is this humanitarian energies, and the 11th house has a lot to do with groups and movements and community. It's the house of friendships. So friendships may be making dramatic shifts. Friendships that are very unconventional, very different, very unusual, or they could come in and leave very suddenly. Now, the 11th house has so much to do with our future goals and dreams and aspirations. And having Uranus moving in, and Uranus is the natural ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac. So Uranus transiting the 11th is very much at home, of really looking at progressive new ways for the future. Now, we have to look at Mercury is going retrograde July the 17th. Venus is in Gemini. That Uranus will really be igniting and sparking the pleasures of Venus. But before I break down the rest of these energies for you, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. All right. Venus is the planet of love and romance and pleasures, creativity. When it aligns with Uranus, this Venus-Uranus is when a friend, because it's in the 11th house of friendships, Venus is all that social, friendly energies, love energies. But with Uranus, there could be kind of an unexpected, dramatic kind of shift. That could be when a friend becomes a lover, or a friend may shock you with their true feelings. Now, this is an ideal time for collaborations, creative collaborations, tech-based collaborations with the Venus and the Uranus. Now, Venus conjuncting Uranus in Gemini. Now, this is going to happen once a year, because Uranus will be in Gemini for the next 8 years. Venus will be in Gemini once a year. So it's going to happen about every 12 months. Now, Venus is social, it's romantic. So Uranus, unconventional, very sudden. So there could be these really sudden infatuations and attractions. Could also be being more open to an open relationship or some type of social kind of experimentation, if you will. Creative breakthroughs. Uranus is all about freedom. And with Venus and Uranus together, there could be this freedom in love, innovative art expression, or any type of unconventional, non-traditional relationships. Now, Mercury is the planet of information, communications. It's in Leo, your sign, from June the 26th to September the 21st. And it's there usually for 3 to 4 weeks. The reason it's going, Mercury, decision-making, discerning Mercury, is hanging out in your sign for such a long time is because it's going to retrograde July the 17th through August the 10th. So the Mercury will move forward, slow down, stop, retrograde, stop, move forwards, and the whole time it's just going to remain in the sign of Leo. And just having Mercury in your sign, it's going to really highlight your appearance. That's the first house of Leo, your ideas, your self-image, much more conversation, more brainstorming ideas. But when it retrograde is a time of rethinking, revising, repairing. And with that Mercury in retrograde, you may be rethinking how you're presenting yourself. Maybe it's time to tweak your message. You have to be careful of misunderstandings or projecting too much ego, because the first house can have a lot to do with the ego. Now, that retrograde could be a time to reevaluate and rethink how you are expressing yourself. And you might have had a lot of misunderstandings during that period. Now, Uranus in the 11th house, especially of friendships, especially with social loving Venus in the 11th house, for July, there could be some real unexpected twists and turns, like a friend becoming a lover, or you're finding out a friend is revealing these radical or shocking secrets about their lives. And with Mercury in retrograde in your sign, starting July the 17th, that could be a time when a close relationship, friendship, or even a group dynamics could be being tested. And it could be a time of like letting go, especially reminding me that the Sun and Jupiter are in the 12th house. And one of the things of the 12th house, particularly with an exalted Jupiter, which is very healing, is letting go of that which no longer serves you. So it's possible, because Leos are very loyal people, that there might be a friendship that's not really a friend, doesn't really have your back. And with Uranus, which could be this dramatic shift in friendships, and Mercury going retrograde, and the Sun and Jupiter in the 12th house, this could be the final letting go of a significant past friendship that no longer serves you. In many ways, it would be a healing. And lastly, Mars. Mars is the athletic planet, the warrior planet. It's ambitious, it's aggressive. Mars will be in Virgo once every 2 years from June the 17th through August the 6th. So all of July, ambitious, assertive Mars in Virgo. Virgo is the sign after Leo. So the sign after Leo, the second sign, deals with your personal income, your possessions. So all these money-related energies. And Mars can be really impatient, impulsive, or aggressive. So you could be arguing about money. You could be really ambitiously driven towards money matters. And I would say that that Mars in the second, you're really feeling this drive and confidence to increase your income. I would not ask for a raise if you have a job, that sort of thing, when Mercury is retrograde, so after the 17th. Also, if you are caught up in a negotiations, a really competitive or heated, argumentative financial negotiations with Mars in the second, when negotiating Mercury goes retrograde on July the 17th to August the 10th, this is when you could hit a wall. This is when it could all break down. This is when in the negotiations you could have the rug pulled out from underneath you. So any important financial negotiations, trying to assert yourself to make more money, you want to do it the first 2 weeks of July before the Mercury goes retrograde. Now, yes, so Uranus going into this new sign, it's trying to bring in an exciting new future. The 11th house is your future, and Uranus is innovative, technological. You might even be inventing new projects that could really change the future course of your life. But this is all unfolding over the next 8 years. And the 11th house of friendships. With Uranus, you might be attracting more technical-minded friends, or maybe more alternative kinds of friendships. If you're more conservative, more traditional, you might be more open and attracted to friendships that are more non-traditional. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.